Hell no. Look where you found yourself. This is Hammer Away, and I'm Viking Stew. Let's get hammered.
Let's do it.
What's up, guys? This is Jaron Galino with Lynch Mob, and I'm hanging with Viking Stew on the Hammer Away show.
Hey everybody, it's back. Hammer Away is back. I'm Viking Stew. We march on, but there's much ado. We're going to be talking about these subjects. Valerie Perrine, some unboxings. We got a couple of bands talking Silent Rage. So let's talk about it.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is get this rolling. Of course, there's something's got to happen tonight. The one thing that really has to happen is just so I do all the rest of this stuff right, I got to make a change in my settings. That's kind of funny. I'm like, why am I not hearing anything? But it was because I hadn't switched over my stuff. But why am I not? It's always something, right? Well, that's not always something, but you wish it wasn't something. So let's get back to our real settings here. Let's see what's going on. Audio. It's always easier when you can do it. I know you can hear me, so that's all good. It's so strange because I wanted to do some other stuff, but this goes along with something I wanted to talk about. Let me just ask you, Emma, can you hear me just fine? I'm just trying to get to my headphones. That's all I'm trying to do, just so I can have a little bit of a feedback and know. Oh, you are awesome. Now, with that in mind, I have missed my Emma Jade. I say my Emma Jade, just my friend Emma Jade, who was just one of the awesome folks that was usually here. And I know we all get to doing different things. That's in no way, shape, or form. I'm just saying, so good to link up with you again here. So good. So thank you for stopping in and saying hello. We were both watching another channel with DJC Studios, and good old Chuck was going to town, and there was Emma. And Emma, I just mentioned you last week, I think, on Go Game Go. So it was just awesome. So thank you so much. Yeah, it's a big party over here. You got that right. We could do the big thing, but just a huge hello to Emma. I just really appreciate seeing you here. I have missed you. It's kind of funny how we've never met, but during crucial moments when you're starting something, it's so cool, and then I wasn't doing the show for a long time, so that's on me. So it's, that's what happens, but that's why things like this happen. And and I'm thinking about, hey, I remember when Emma used to come to the show, I mention it, and then here we are together at Chuck's thing. That's how it all works. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Jade also, Jade, Emma Jade. I don't know if Miss So used to be here too. She used to chime in. I've kept in touch with Crimson Cross via emails too, periodically, and so that's cool that I can still keep in touch there. But yeah, Miss So used to pop in too. But again, I've been away. I was away. I'm not away now, but there was a long while there while I was away. I didn't like it, but I'm so glad looking at my subs and knowing that nobody went anywhere. I was like, well, that's cool. So, and now we're getting up there. We're getting up in the subs. So it's pretty cool. Waiting for things to keep moving along. So just a few people there to mention. And also a big, always a big thanks to Salvatore as well, Metal Torso, Papa Pete, especially Papa Pete doesn't always stop in here, but he does when he's available, and I really appreciate his help. And of course, my buddy Jeff, we started Go Game Go, and just always been a great friend of mine. And also, there's something else that he turned me on to today that we'll talk about real quick, because it's out there, and I'm going to order it while we're here. So, and also Casey from Intellivision Gamer. And also again to Chuck from GJC Studios, who's out there and did a big plug for me tonight. So that was great. Really, really appreciated that. So as always, real quick, like and subscribe if you like what we do here. Some great interviews out there that I'm very proud of, and I've got more on the way. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully I like to take a different take and do things this way too. And a thank you that I always put out there in the stuff below. But a many thanks for hanging out here at Hammer Away for some fun interviews and discussions about the music that I love, that you love, and some things that you just deserve to hear. You know, that's why I say about my band Edge of Blue. The line that I came up with for it, the band, is we are not McDonald's. Thank you, Emma Jade. Absolutely zap that like button. She knows what she's talking about, so listen to her. You know, that's why I say we're not McDonald's, because we don't do all the same things that everybody else does. I don't want to do those. It's always a big thing to me. I think I've probably mentioned this here before, probably too many times, maybe never, but seems like I have. Where, you know, I said to another band that I was in years ago, I'm like, we're not doing Summer of '69 again, because I took it off the list, and they're like, where is it? And I'm like, there's no reason we need to do that. Everybody does it. I love the song. That album, Reckless by Bryan Adams. In fact, I'm thinking about wanting to see him. He's coming here in July, and with Pat Benatar. So I'm thinking I'd really like to see the show, but he had 5 hits off that same record. So, and we had a female singer at the time, and I'm like, why don't we just do It's Only Love? Because then you get to showcase her instead of just saying, well, let's just do that one song off that record, and she can sing backup. No, give her a lead part. She's there. I love singing with women. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, just like and subscribe. Keep the questions coming. I'm doing better with checking in on different things that may be written in comments below and things like that. So if you've got some interests that you'd like to know about in music, if you've I don't know, if you're like, look, I love AC/DC. This is a real easy one for me, okay? And speaking of which, AC/DC's in the news today, so let's talk about that too. For an interesting reason that has dual levels. But AC/DC, let's take AC/DC. In fact, if you're like, look, I love AC/DC, but I mean, I've listened to AC/DC for decades. Is there anybody else that does that, you know, where I could get that kind of music so it would be a little bit of a fresh moment, you know, or an expand in that realm? Yes. You can listen to Airborne. Definitely listen to Airborne. And you can also listen to Rhino Bucket. Both have been around for many years. Rhino Bucket's been around longer. But yeah, Airborne is a fantastic band. They were one of their tracks was in Cobra Kai. So if you watch that, you can see that. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, let's just keep rocking this train and down the tracks. We can do it together. So that's the way we do it. So thank you. Thank you to everybody that stuck around while I was gone for a while. So that was fantastic. I still don't have the headphones thing, but that's okay because I'm not doing an interview, so it's not a big deal. And as long as my friend tells me she can hear me, then that's fantastic. Kind of like Burger King burgers more than McDonald's, but McDonald's has the better fries. See, I won't eat McDonald's. I won't. I just don't. Yeah. That's why I say we're not McDonald's, because I'm like, I don't like McDonald's. I don't, I don't, who trusts any of it anyway? Really? I mean, they all have wood pulp in their meat, to make it stretch it longer because it's legally okay to do that. You know what else I found out today? While I'm looking up this, I want to look up this AC/DC article. I found out today, and there's probably thousands and millions of you out there who already know this, but pumpkin is one of the best things for your dog. Just pure pumpkin. Don't get the mix, but pumpkin in a can or fresh, is fine too. You cook that up, and that's great for dogs. I did not know that. Did not know that. So anyway, in the news about AC/DC, let's get into this, because back in 1982, I saw Ozzy Osbourne for 2.5 words on the Diary of a Madman tour. But there was a band. You know what? I mean, the record's right over there. Do you want me to grab it? I could grab it. Hold on a second. Actually, I have 2 of them, and I got a little something else to show you down here. Let me see if I can get it. It should be right here. Blah, blah, blah. Steely Dan. Okay, it's going to be right before that. Steely Dan. Did I get it? No, but I'm close. Let's see here. It's going to be way before that. There. No. It's close. I'm close. Here we go. I got it. I'm on it. Comes after Starcastle. Before Edwin Starr and Starcastle. All right. So here you go. Let me show you these. Let me get back to my thing here, so I can show these to you. I was very fortunate to have found these. Here you go. There's a band called Starfighters. All right. And then this was their first album. I saw them tour for their first album. And then they put out In Flight Movie, which came out after that. So there you go, Starfighters. Very fortunate to have found these on vinyl. Then if you look on the back, I'm trying to remember which one of these guys is him. I think, oh boy. Anyway, Stevie Young was in this band, and now, of course, he's the nephew of Malcolm and Angus. So, he was. He's been in AC/DC for a long time now, since Malcolm passed, and so that's when I got my introduction to Stevie Young. So there you go. Saw him in Starfighters. Now this year, I'm hoping. I mean, here we go with that thing. I don't know what's going on, but he had to get to the hospital. Let's see what it says here. AC/DC Stevie. Oh, okay. There's a video. Okay. Stevie Young of AC/DC being hospitalized in Buenos Aires. He's 69, with the band stating he was admitted out of an abundance of caution after recent shows. The statement indicated earlier reports were encouraging, with Young doing well and looking forward to performing again on Monday. Okay. Steve Young had joined AC/DC in 2014 as a replacement for his uncle, Malcolm Young, who had been diagnosed with dementia and became a full-time member after initially filling in during the 1988 U.S. tour. Interesting. The band was preparing for a series of shows in Buenos Aires beginning March 23rd. So, yeah. So yesterday, huh? Yesterday, 2 days ago, Monday, marking their first return to the city. Wow. Since 2009. So, yeah, there's a Rock History Music has a video about that, so you can check that out and see what you got there. But you heard it here, so that's okay. You can check it out there. You can just already know it because you were here. Right, Emma? So, yeah. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's really cool. Speaking of looks incredible, so we had a dining room table with dining room chairs, and then we decided to we got another table from my in-laws, my wife's parents. So then we were going to get rid of that table. So we did. I was going to use it for a craft table, but my daughter said, it's too big. It's got to go. So I did. I got rid of it. And then I took those chairs, some of them, I took them apart because I like to repurpose if I can. I love to repurpose and be creative like that. So because these, you can either try to find somebody that wants them and give them away, or you can, however it's going to work. But I've known many people in the past that are like, I'm not going to try to sell these damn things. And you either throw them away or whatever happens. You give them away at a thrift shop or something. So anyway, but what I did was I pulled them apart. Now, one of them is on the other side of the wall, and it's screwed in to the shelving over there as a little seat inside of my rehearsal area over there. But then what I did was I cut apart some of the chairs, and I made little rolling stools out of them. See, look at that. Put wheels on the bottom. This is still the frame. Painted it black because that's what's cool down here in my room. Everything's black. And then I had this guitar fabric still left over. There's a little bit of dog hair on there. I got to get that vacuumed off. But anyway, put the wheels on the bottom, and it's a nice little footstool for underneath my desk. So I'm going to put that underneath there. I was going to put it there, but I thought, I want to show it to you guys first. And then that's really cool. I love it. And I can put my feet up there and kind of relax. So that's that. Now, I did that. You know what? I can't. Sugar. I just realized I am going to, I'm going to do this. Okay. Hold on. Let me show you some, what can I put that's cool? Oh, look at this. I'll show you this. This is a cool 69 sticker from the Midnight Devils. If you haven't checked them out, you know what? I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to worry about it. I won't worry about it. It's fine. So anyway, today when we were doing the Go Game Go thing, Jeff mentioned, we got to mentioning the knack. So we're going to get back to, he and I are eventually going to do this show where we'll talk about our big knack experience. It was literally, I'm sure that you've all experienced this at some point. You experienced some sort of an odyssey. You were going to a concert, or you were buying a record, or you were trying to get tickets, or you met a band member and something crazy cool happened, or whatever. But it's like an odyssey, right? Because it starts off, for me, I had done interviews with two of the members of the Knack, and they were going to be in. And Jeff said to me, he said, "Hey, the Knack have a new album out. If they tour anywhere near, we're going." And I said, "Perfect." And I said, "I'll tell you what, if they play anywhere near here, I'll get you backstage." And so I ended up interviewing a couple of the members, Doug Feiger and Bert Navarre. And so we had tickets and passes to the show up in Chicago. And so that was the thing. We have tickets and passes. I'll leave you there. And then when Jeff and I get together, whether that's video wise or if he doesn't live far from me, so I could go over there and we could just do it there, or he could come here. But he, but yeah, we ended up. It really turned into a crazy odyssey because it was not what we expected. There were challenges. There were even coming home, there was a challenge. So we'll tell you about that. So from beginning to end, it was an awesome challenge. So it was really cool. Um, but yeah, he used the phrase tonight. Yeah, I almost died on that trip. So so I've had, and I don't really remember so much that part. I guess there was a moment like that, but yeah, to Chicago, downtown Chicago, to see the Knack play at the House of Blues. It was a great night and a crazy odyssey. So we'll tell you all about that eventually. It's coming. But they just released a brand new album full of kind of rarities. And if you're a Knack fan, I'll kind of go over this with you. It's let's see if I can do, because I'm trying to remember. Oh, look at that. They have a 3-album collection of their first 3 records. Here it is. It's called Knackology, the Zen Recordings. Okay. So so if you're a big Knack fan, this has got tons of music on it. It's got Let Me Out live in Los Angeles, 1978. Pop is Dead, it's just the studio version, which is that's the album. It was on Zoom, and that was the show we went and saw. Then it's She's So Selfish, live at Mountain View, California, July 10th, 1994. Then there's the song Ambition. That's What the Little Girls Do. Lay Girls. Rock and Roll Is Good for You. So that's a Feiger and a Ver demo. Can I Borrow a Kiss? I'm going to have Burton on the show to talk about this. Can I Borrow a Kiss is a great song also from Zoom, which had, I don't know if you know this, but the Knack has had some amazing drummers because they have amazing drum performances on all of their records. But on that Zoom album, it was Terry Bozzio. Soon after that, they had Pat Torpey doing stuff. But prior to Terry Bozzio, they had Billy Ward, who was like a studio drummer. He also did kind of clinic things. He has a video on, drumming. So Normal is the next guy, which is the title track to the song album after Zoom. A song called Shine, live at Leeds in 91. Good Girls Don't, that's live from the Rock and Roll Funhouse, which I just mentioned that the other day, or on one of my shows recently. No Matter What, their cover of No Matter What. Love Is All There Is, that's also from Zoom. One Day at a Time, which is live from the Rock and Roll Funhouse, which is a song off of Serious Fun. So if you've never heard Serious Fun, do it. It's a fantastic record. 7 Days of Heaven. Harder on You is a great song. It's a demo on this. And Baby Talks Dirty, live from the Rock and Roll Funhouse. And My Sharona, live at Mountain View, California, June 10th. Same as the, let's see, where was that? Where was that? Oh, it is She's So Selfish. So those tracks are from the same show. So it says 19 studio, live, and demo tracks from across their storied career. Features the return. Let me see if I can do this real quick, folks. I'm sorry. Let's see if, instead of watching me read it, I could also bring this up. Let me see if that's possible here. And I can drop it on the screen. La 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 la. Well, let's do this. And let's do that. And then we could do a little of that. And some of that. And it'll get worse as I go. And that, of course. The Knack. Let's just do it as that. All right. And if I go back here, then hopefully I can put in an image file. And I can share that image file. Look at that. There you go. Now you can watch me read, if that's what you're here for, and look at the album cover. So there you go. All right, let me get back to this so I can read you what it is. All right. So features the return of their classic cover of Bad Fingers, No Matter What, and other hard-to-find performances mastered by multiple Grammy-winning engineer Michael Graves, with liner notes from Grammy-winning set co-producer Lee Lodiga. The Knack was far from a one-hit wonder, but sometimes we need to be reminded of that. Principal songwriter and vocalist Doug Feiger of the Knack created Zen Records as an outlet for new Knack material, as well as early recordings, demos, and more in order to get them into the public ear. Omnivore Recordings has been honored to have a decade-plus relationship with Zen Records. Knackology, the Zen Recordings, collects 19 classic Knack performances from pre-Get the Knack demos, that's what the little girls do, to a live Let Me Out. Knackology shows the band's genesis. Follow that with more across the globe performances of hits including Good Girls Don't, Baby Talks Dirty, One Day at a Time, and naturally, My Sharona. And feel the live power that caused a bidding war for their debut and how it never relented on stage throughout their tenure. Also included are studio tracks from their releases Zoom, which Feiger called their best album. Interesting. And Normal as the Next Guy, showcasing that they were never truly that one-hit wonder label they had been slapped with. Add in rarities like their cover of Bad Fingers No Matter What, originally released on a Badfinger tribute, and you have a total Knack education and experience. This collection is mastered by multiple... Yeah, okay, Michael Graves, we already talked about that. Let's see. Lee Lodiga, who has helmed Knack reissues for Capitol Records, Virgin Records, and Omnivore Recordings. Yeah, we already said that too. Knackology, the Zen Recordings, is more than just a compilation. It is both an introduction and refresher course to one of the world's most important, impressive, and irreplaceable bands. You know we all shine on. The light delights the day. Return to it on return to turn it on or fade away. Oh yeah. Okay. They don't do good punctuation in these things. Anyway, we all shine on. That's from Serious Fun. That's a great song. Great song. I'm telling you, it's a great album. Great album. So there you go. Zen Recordings. I'm going to order that when I'm done because I'm using my phone to do this. So, sorry about that. I didn't mean to lie. I will do it right after the show, though. Jeff's already got his on order. So, yeah. When's it say it's going to get here? Free delivery Monday, May 11th. Because it's not out yet. You pre-order it. So if you want to get on the bandwagon, pre-order it. Yeah. That's awesome. I think they even have, like, if you're really a Knack fan, or if you're getting into the Knack and you're one of those people that loves to go back as well. Let me see if they have. I think they have Sky. Yeah. So hold on a second. I got to make sure I get to the right one. Is that it? Is that all right? I think that's... I don't know if that's it. No, that's not the right stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out. But when we had that little odyssey, Jeff had his albums with him. Doug Feiger was in that band early on. So, yeah. Anyway, cool stuff. Check it out. Definitely. I can take this off. All right. So it's me again. Hi. How's it going? Let's do that because I love this background. It's a rock and roll background. Okay. So let's get started here on what we were going to talk about tonight. We did, unfortunately, there was we had a Chuck Norris. We lost Chuck Norris the other day. We talked about that already. But then we also, right after that, we lost Valerie Perrine. So was sorry to hear that. I knew her best from Superman when she was in that in 1979 as Miss Tetchmeyer. Tetchmeyer, right? Tetchmeyer. But yeah, she was also in boy, I was thinking of it the other day. What was the name of that? She was in that disco movie as well. That's terrible. It's a big disco like phrase from back in the day. Wow, I can't think of it. Oh, Can't Stop the Music. Okay, that's right. Yeah, Can't Stop the Music. She was also, I guess, she was in Superman 2. She was in Valerie. She was in Boiling Point. Is that right? Okay. Silver Skies. Wow. Agency. With Robert Mitchum. Wow. Oh, that's Lee Major. Oh, do I have a copy of that? I might have a copy of that. Wow, I'm gonna have to look now. Cyclone. So yeah, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, Can't Stop the Music. Those are the two things. That was the year after Superman. So it was kind of wild. W.C. Fields and Me. She was in that in 1976. The Last American Hero in 73. Slaughterhouse-5 in 72. What do you know about that? So yeah, just a lovely woman. She was all over, and during my high school years, I guess, junior high and high school, all over the place. She was around before that, but anyway, so that was that. Yeah. All right. So yeah. Rest in peace. Next, let's go through unboxings. Unboxings, or you want to do let's do the records. Let's do the records. We'll end with the unboxing. All right, so a while back, I'm talking a while back. This was before I went on holiday last year. I think what happened was I was doing a show and it did not work out. The show just didn't work out. It was bad. And so I got rid of it. And I think I'd shown this stuff on there. Every time it thunderstorms, it's Chuck and Bruce having a rematch. That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Today was kind of weird. Thanks for mentioning that too. Because today I was out walking the doggos and I'm watching, she's laying right back there. Watching my daughter's dog. So she goes on walks with them every day. So I've been making sure that we keep with our schedule and she helps me do that. So me and the two dogs, the fuzzy princesses, went out today, and it was sunny, and it was, I don't know, it was around about dinner time, because when I got back, I'm like, well, it's not quite, yes, it is dinner time. And so, but as we're walking back to the car, we're almost done with our loop, and all of a sudden the wind is blowing a bit through the trees, and all of a sudden I'm like, is that tree stuff or is that wet? And it was rain. It's a very Beatles moment. You get your tan from standing in the English rain. So yeah. But if you remember right, when I've talked about Hit Records before, Hit Records is in Columbia, Missouri, and I love going to their discount rack. That's what I do a lot of times because they have some really, really cool stuff in there. And sometimes if it's super cheap anyway, I'll buy it for the cover. But let's get started here because the first thing that I want to show you is a band that's a local band that, was international. So what is this? This has, okay, interesting. It's got an extra sleeve in there, but Pavlov's Dog. Look at that. Now, the thing about Pavlov's Dog is that when I got to knowing about them, and I was over at one of their members, Steve Scorfina, when I was over at his place chatting with him, I looked on here and on the other album as well, and I saw who produced this album. And I want to double check and make sure that because I'm sure this is the one I looked over this one and I was like, oh my God, they produced this album. This album was produced. Yes, it was this album and the other, I do believe both are produced by Murray Krugman and Sandy Pearlman. Does that ring any bells for anybody? It does to me because that's who was producing the first Blue Oyster Cult stuff before they started using someone else. I'm trying to remember when that changed. I think they produced their first 3 or 4. The live album, I'm trying to remember. The live album came out. It was the tour for Agents of Fortune, which is a fantastic record. It's not my favorite record of theirs. I didn't know. I didn't feel a complete cohesive thing all the way through that album. It has some great songs on it, obviously. It's got Don't Fear the Reaper, but some of my favorite songs on that record are other songs like Vera Gemini is a great song on there. And what's one of my other favorites? About the UFOs, ETI. I just thought that was a fantastic song. Those are all, that first side of that album is just fantastic. Second side's just a little, just never felt as complete. You know what I mean? It's, I don't know. But yeah, that was their first album was Blue Oyster Cult, Tyranny and Mutation, Agents of Fortune, On Your Feet or On Your Knees, the live album, double live album. And then they did Spectres. Spectres is my all-time favorite Blue Oyster Cult record. Talk about an interesting album that goes front to back beautifully. And I'm trying to remember if, I don't think they did that. Anyway, when I saw that on this album, I said, wait a minute. These guys produced Blue Oyster Cult. And he goes, oh, yeah. He goes, Steve says, yeah, that they were in the studio a lot. They were, recording at the same time and they were producing them at the same time. I was like, get out of here. And so he got to see them. Now, one of my other favorite stories about Pavlov's Dog is when they were on tour, they had a sound check and standing off to the side of the stage were these 3 skinny guys. And he's like, who are those guys? And somebody goes, oh, that's some new band, bunch of young, it's this young band called Rush. I was like, what? So anyway, this one is an album that if I can get it at a good price, I'll pick it up every day. And this was $3 because I love the cover and I love the record. But there is no, so you know what? I think I got this for $1. I think I got it for $1 because it was $3, but there was no sleeve on the vinyl. And I'm like, can I get this for $1? I'm sure that this vinyl's not doing too good without a thing. And he goes, sure, because he's the owner of the store. So anyway, it's not fragile. I love this cover. It would be great framed and on my wall. And it's one of my favorite albums from my childhood. Now, this one I definitely got for the album cover because it's a Peter Lloyd piece of work. Sometimes I have to look at these and make sure that it is, because I think it was LTD had an album and I thought it was a Peter Lloyd and it was not. But let me see, because like Ronnie Laws has a, let's see, it's got the cover artist here. It's got like everything, and when you're in a hurry, you're trying to. So I'm just going to take my time, make sure I can tell you correctly. Look at that. Earth, Wind, and Fire did some string arrangements. Jeez. That's like another album that I have by a guy that I'd never heard of before. Wow, art direction. Okay, so I love when this happens. It's classic. It's like, wait a minute. Why is the information that I want have to be the smallest thing on here? Yeah, it is a Peter Lloyd. It is a Peter Lloyd. All right, and it's an album here by Ronnie Laws. Now, Ronnie Laws actually has multiple albums with Peter Lloyd album artwork on it. So this was one of those, and this was $1, so I had to get it for $1. Hell yeah, got to get it for that cover, Peter Lloyd. This one is a great one to get if it's inexpensive, and this was 99 cents too. So I must have found an area that had a bunch of 99-cent albums. This is Ambrosia. You've seen me get this before. I just got one out at Dirty River Records as well. Life Beyond LA. It's such a good record. Here's one that I got for the cover. It's probably $1 as well. Yep. And it's got some water damage on it, so that's fine. I can crop that down and use it. Just the artwork. It's Roger Daltrey's Ride a Rock Horse. So there you go. I'm sure this was $1 as well. Yeah. That was $1. Is this $1? Yeah, it's $1. These are all $1, people. $1, yeah. Okay, I'll stop doing that for now. That's $1. Okay. So these are all $1. Empty glass. You saw me get one of these just the other day, and got it for the cover. And I'm gonna see the one that I got the other day, if you remember, from Dirty River Records, had something here that was like it was water, and they pulled it apart. And I think the white stuff that was on the front was from another album. I'm still gonna steam that and see if that'll peel off. But here's a good one. I could use this one for the cover, and no big deal. Look at this. Here's one that I've talked about before. Poco. Legend. This was one that has Crazy Love on it. And you remember who does that album cover? Anybody? Right? Is that right? That is right. Records under $1 is a great deal. And that's me. I'm always looking for the deal. That's what I'm looking for. Because, man, it's like I've said before, as soon as you tell me, well, it's so expensive because it's from the actual time, I'm like, that doesn't mean shit. That just means it doesn't sound as good anymore. It's been played for decades. So don't tell me that it's collectible. I don't know. That's stupid to me. Anyway, it's got Crazy Love, the album cover, this album cover, that illustration there, Phil Hartman. That's right, comedian Phil Hartman, graphic designer. He did this album cover. He also did Crosby, Stills, and Nash, right? Did he do that one? He did the America's Greatest Hits cover. Did not do the Crosby, Stills, and Nash best of. I think that was Joni Mitchell who actually did that. Another one for 99 cents. 21 at 33. Elton John. Wasn't going to pass it up. It's an Elton John, man. There's stuff we can do with that. Let's take a look at the sleeve on the inside, because it seems like it's thick. And what's in here? Okay, so there's a kind of a thin cardstock lyric insert that has all the songs on here. What is all on here? Let's get Chasing the Crown. Oh, Little Genie's on here. Okay. Sartorial eloquence, 2 rooms at the end of the world. White lady, white powder. Gee, I wonder what they're talking about there. Dear God, never gonna fall in love again. Is that like the okay? Take me back and give me the love. So Little Genie. So this has got to be 80. Is this 86? Because I was thinking I was playing Little Genie on the radio when it was out. But let me see. Of course, again, small type. MCA Records. Before is this before he went to Geffen? I guess. I don't even see the date. Oh, there it is. Yeah, 1980. Okay, so no. Wow, Little Genie was. I guess it was. I just remember it from high school. I guess it's when I was in high school. So yeah. And then also Breaking Hearts by Elton John. There you go. Let's see what's on this one. Restless, Slow Down Georgie, Who Wears These Shoes, Breaking Hearts, Little Refrigerator. Okay. Passengers. I might just write a song about my little refrigerator. In Neon, Burning Buildings, Did He Shoot Her? Oh, and this says Sad Songs Say So Much. So that was the and Bernie Taupin was writing with him too then. So this one was really cool. It's a gatefold as well. And it's Octave by Moody Blues. This cover was in beautiful shape. I'm like, geez, if I was ever going to buy an album for the cover for $1, this is it. I mean, look how beautiful that is. It's on London Records. This one, what hit was on this? Steppin' in a Slide Zone was on here. Okay. Under Moonshine. Had to Fall in Love. I'll Be Level with You. Driftwood. Top Rank Suite. I'm Your Man. Survival. One Step into the Light. And The Day We Meet Again. Yeah. So Steppin' in a Slide Zone is the hit song on there. And there, gatefolds to that. How gorgeous. I love it. When they gatefold, so good. Here's one of my favorite albums. I'll buy it whenever I see it, especially if I see it for $1 and it looks this good. Hell yes, I'm getting Sleeper Catcher by Little River Band. You don't know how many copies of this I have. It's crazy. I don't know. I just buy it when I see it, especially, like I said, for $1. And look at this. I think I just bought a copy of this, and it's not as in good condition as this for $1, but it's Firefall's first album. Look how beautiful that is. It's got a little bit of a ring wear. You can see it there, but nothing too crazy. Looks better than the other one that I bought for $1, which is no fault of where I got it. It's just, that's why it was $1. So yeah, and this has got the inner sleeve, although the album is not in the inner sleeve. I don't know why. This album is great. If you've never gotten into Firefall before, check them out. They have all the hits, that they had, and then other songs on these albums are great. Is Mexico on this one, or is that on? Yeah, Mexico is on their first album. That's one of my all-time favorite songs of theirs. I'd love to do it. I love singing it, and it's a lot of fun. But this has It Doesn't Matter. Love Isn't All. Livin' Ain't Livin', which was relatively a hit. No Way Out. Excuse me, Dolphin's Lullaby. Definitely a hit was the first song on the second side, Cinderella. And I said, God damn, girl, can't you see I'm breaking my back just trying to keep my head above water, and it's turning me wild. Let's see. Sad Old Love Song is next, and then their other big hit on this is You Are the Woman, Mexico, and Do What You Want. My favorite album by them, I love this one, but my favorite album by them is Elan, which has Strange Way on it. That's such a good one. Now, this album cover was in great condition, 99 cents. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to get it. Never was a big fan of these guys. Didn't listen to much at all. I don't know how much of their stuff I've ever heard, but they were sure huge around my area and wherever I was living. And that's Pure Prairie League. There you go. Dance. So, yeah, the album cover was in great shape. Everything looks good. I'm like, she's whiz. And then I remember finding this one. I was like, oh, I went back over to a certain bin and I was looking through, and there it was for $1. And this is in great shape too. I don't know about the vinyls. I'm gonna have to check the vinyls, but it's a gatefold and rotogravure by Ringo Starr. There you go. Yeah. So this, let's see. This has a dose of rock and roll, Hey Baby, Pure Gold, Crying, You Don't Know Me at All. And then it has Cookin', I Still Love You, This Be Called a Song, Las Brisas, Lady Gay, and Spooky Weirdness. Produced by Arif Mardin. So there you go. And like I say, it's a gatefold. So great pictures of the band and folks who worked on the record and the recording process. Kind of cool. A lot of people eating. So there you go. That's all of that from Hit Records. So cool. Such good stuff. For $1. Do I have to say that again? $1. $1. Yeah, baby. I also remember Phil Hartman from The Simpsons. Yep, that's right. He was he Sideshow Bob? Also, was that? Yeah, right. That's what, and he did other voices too, I think, right? Yeah, Jingle All the Way. There you go. I'm not familiar with Blasto for the PS1. Huh. That's interesting. I do have a PS1. That might be something I might want to look for there. Or for which I'd want to look. All right, so let's take a look here. Let's start with something I just got today. And let's open that up. Let's see what we got. Oh, yeah, and they put these cool little tab things on here. So, oh, see, and I love when they break. That's the funnest part, when they break. You have to do that. So remember what we were just talking about and what we talked about the other day? Well, I put some orders in. I think I mentioned that to you the other day. This was the very first one that my buddy that I mentioned earlier, Papa Pete, was talking about the other day. He was getting ready to watch it. He hadn't watched it yet, but by now I would have thought he had. This was, it looks like somebody got this at Half Price Books. Books, because the children, they love the books. So, speaking of Christmas movies, and it is Silent Rage. Now, this is I should have maybe held on to this for a second, but I didn't. It is a beautiful cover. You are absolutely right. It's a beautiful cover, as well as, and of course it's kind of funny because it's a play on. The next album was called Luna Sea. So Luna as in moon, and then SEAC, but put them together and it's Lunacy. So yeah, Silent Rage. This is the one that kind of, it was really creepy, freaky, kind of in that way. Like, now I may regret saying this after I rewatch it. I'm not trying to say this is a Michael Mann film, because it's not a Michael Mann film. I don't know who directed this. Let's see. Ron Silver, did he direct this, or is he just in it? Yeah, also starring Ron Silver, Stephen Keats, Tony Kalem, and William Finley, Brian Libby, and of course Stephen Furst. Music by Peter Bernstein and Mark Goldberg. So they had Goldenberg. So they had some good music there. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so producer, directed by Michael Miller. How weird is that? I just said Michael Mann, and this was done by Michael Miller. So, not sure what Michael Miller did otherwise. But yeah, it was because the other one had that guy. What was that other movie? Manhunter, the original Hannibal movie that they did before Silence of the Lambs. They had Manhunter, right? And it had the guy from Live and Die in L.A. and CSI and all that stuff. But yeah, and had that crazy scene with Inagata Davida, baby. So yeah, so I had to get some Chuck Norris films. Now, oh, that doesn't. Oh, okay. I'm gonna return that. I'm not even gonna show it to you. All right, I'll show it to you. This is not what this is supposed to look like. It's the Punisher. Now I know how people feel about this movie, but there's a part of me that still likes it. Now, that's not what it's supposed to look like, so I'm gonna have to return that. I bought it because it looked like it was a different, cool packaging. Let's see if I can look this up. This is ridiculous, man. That's not what it's supposed to look like. Dipsticks. Punisher DVD. Let's just put that in. See if I can show you this picture. Yeah, so this was supposed to be like a book. That's what it shows here. Let me see if I can get this photo in like I did before. Punisher. Okay. So, yeah. Now that's disappointing. Let's see. Let's get this out of there. Image file. Where is it? There it is. So look at this. This is what it's supposed to look like a book. So I'm like, well, that's kind of cool packaging. It's probably something special. Let's even go back to the description and let's see what it says. Let's see here. I don't know. But anyway, that was the photo that it showed. I don't know if it's supposed to. So I'm like, well, this is cool. Now it looks like the other one that I've got from years ago with a plastic cover. Of course, the one I have is even one of those that opens up. But I'm like, oh, well, that was cool. So, but no, that's not what it's doing. Anyway, so that sucks. All right. Nothing like calling them and getting a return. Yay. Now, the other day, I may have mentioned it on here. I'm trying to remember. Because I was on Spotify and I happened to notice a picture of Richard Marx. And I guess he has a podcast. And he had Kenny Loggins on there recently. Now, two things about that, and I may have mentioned it before. This is funny because this comes from Thrift Books, and again, I used to work for them. So when I see these, put together, I'm like, yep, I did that. I slapped all those packages together. And then they always give you this, junk in there too. But stories to tell. So that's what his book is called. That's what I got. I got a sweet deal on this and Kenny Loggins' book. So this one was like, I don't know, $7. And there's the regular little thing like I had before. So, yeah. But stories to tell, a memoir. In here, I guess, is this explanation of why there was an issue between he and Kenny Loggins for years until they got back to being friends and worked through it. And so, but there was lots of cool stuff on that interview. And so I picked up his book. The thing about it is then I made a playlist. It had Richard Marx's first record, and then it had Kenny Loggins' album that he was talking about. I can't remember the name of the album, dadgummit. It's the one that has This Is It. So if I just look up Kenny Loggins, I'll find it real quick here. I'm sorry. It's something to do. It's three words. And This Is It, which is a song that he wrote for his father. Go to album, please. Thank you. And it's Keep the Fire is the name of that album. And Richard was going on about how much he loved that record and just what it meant to him and how it inspired him to be a musician and a writer. And it just really lit him up. And then I put that album on the playlist. Then I put Richard's. Then he gives a piece of vinyl. Richard does to his guests from his collection, or which is mainly his father's record collection, vinyl collection. So he gives an album to the person that he interviews, and he gave the band the album, the vinyl for the band's first album. And now I'm forgetting what the name of it is because I'm not really super versed on the band. But it's the Pink. Oh, geez. The Weight. That's from that album. Go to album. Nope. Sorry. That's not the album. The band. Let's just go there. Show all. So no, it's not their first one, I guess. Although I was thinking it was, but I'll know it when I see it. They don't have a... Yeah, Music from Big Pink. That's what it's called. From 1968. And I put that in that playlist. And then I put Richard Marx's Greatest Hits and Kenny Loggins' Greatest Hits in there. And then, so as I'm listening to Kenny Loggins, then I'm listening to Richard. I'm like, holy shit. How did I never catch this? That frickin' Richard Marx is like so much like Kenny Loggins. It just was crazy. It's a guilty pleasure, not the best, but a good action movie, more or less. Yeah, the original Punisher. Yeah, exactly, right? It's not a great movie. Don't, yeah. It's not a great movie, but it is the first installment of the Punisher. So I'm into that. So I got into that. But yeah, I just realized, holy crap, you just really, if you listen to Richard Marx after you listen to some Kenny Loggins, you're just like, yeah, I could see how you were influenced. It's like when you give a listen to Mr. Blue Sky, because everybody loves that song by ELO, right? But it's so Beatles. I mean, it's straight off the Beatles. It's like they flipped a pancake off the Beatles pan, and ELO ate it. Yeah, well, at least Jeff Lynne ate it. So it's so Beatles. When you hear that ding 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 in there, that's just like the ding 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 ding. Woke up, get out of bed, dragged a comb across my head. Same. So weird. So, and I never caught that. The other thing that I never caught was my friend. So anyway, that's the Richard Marx book. My friend came over years ago. Wait till you see what's in this one. Speaking of Kenny Loggins. I had a friend come over and I said, hey, I love this record. And I'd love to play some songs off of it. And it's the Honeymoon Suite album, The Big Prize. And he was listening to it. I go, yeah, isn't that cool? It's some good stuff. He goes, yeah, he goes, that's really good. He goes, sounds a lot like Bon Jovi. I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, yeah, it does sound like Bon Jovi. Oy. So, and that's because Bruce Fairbairn produced it, and he was producing Bon Jovi at the time, and some Aerosmith and all kinds of stuff at the time. Then, unfortunately, killed himself. It's really weird. We'll talk about him someday. So I can't show you that first. These two things came in the same package, but I can't show you that other part first. So here you go. It's from Thrift Books again. And we can always tell because they put their little thingamabob in there with whatever. And there's the sticker. So yeah, Kenny Loggins, Still All Right, with Jason Turbo. There you go. And a classic shot from on stage. So then, listed right below it is a kid's book. A kid's book. Are you ready? It's a kid's book. It's a kid's book. Of what? Footloose. Look at that. I don't know. I think it's got a CD in it. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Comes with a CD. With the song on it, Footloose, and then it's got Monkey Town Medley on it. So yeah, about the authors, yeah, singer-songwriter, sold more than 25 million albums worldwide, has won 2 Grammy Awards, and co-wrote the book The Unimaginable Life. Lessons learned on the path of love. His songs have been hits over the last 4 decades, including This Is It, from Keep the Fire. I'll never forget that now. I'm All Right, of course, there you go. Caddyshack, Footloose, and Danger Zone. Yum, 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 yum. And so many more. In addition to his string of successful recordings, both solo and as a member of the famed duo Loggins and Messina, Kenny became the first major rock star to dedicate himself to recording music for children and families. His album, Return to Pooh Corner, remains the best-selling children's album of the last 20 years. Wow. Kenny, who reunited with Jim Messina in 2009, currently resides in Santa Barbara, California. So there you go. Hey. All right. So yeah, Kenny Loggins, Footloose. So I'll be reading that. And then we'll talk about it. So yeah, Footloose. That's crazy stuff. All right, so I guess I think that's it for all of that. I do have a vinyl confession, I do believe, set up for tomorrow as well. So we'll see you then. In the meantime, take it easy and let me just do the biggest awesome. There you go. Does the kids' version of Footloose have the famous "No one puts"? That's Dirty Dancing, you silly. Oh man, that's great. That is great. No, but this does. Seeing that book does inspire me to want to. I will, Emma. I just want to say thank you while you're here and while we're still doing this. Thank you. It really means a lot, and I'm so glad that we had it. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I do that shit all the time. I do it right here on the show. I rewatch a show and go, "That's not right. That's a lie." I'm like, what do you? So anyway, it happens. It certainly does. It just happens. So anyway, songs that I rehearsed just for fun. Songs I rehearsed last night. We went through Head Games, that's what kind of got me. I gotta get it back into my workout. I saw a gentleman at the park today who was in fantastic shape. Looked like he had a group of people that were kind of doing the fitness thing there together. And this dude was in good shape. And I'm like, I got to get back to that, at least just toning the core, because we did Head Games last night and by Foreigner. And I was just like, now part of it is monitors. For anybody out there who does singing and whatever, and you're wondering or you're nervous because you got out there and you were doing some singing and it didn't go well, or you lost power, or you don't know where everything that sounded great in your car or in the shower or with your headphones on, where and I'm not saying sounded great like you can't sing, but you think you sound great. No, I'm saying when you know you do have a good voice, there's just people that have good voices, and that's just the way it is. Some people can't sing, they can still sing. They can like to sing, and that is awesome. You know, ignore what has to be perfect, but also when it comes down to the fact where it does need to be pretty good and perfect, if you can't sing, like, you know, they always put those people on the, you know, on American Idol and whatnot. And um, I, y'all, I always kind of start wanting to feel sorry for them. However, they should know that they can't sing or they're tone deaf. I mean, some people just are tone deaf. It just happens. Um, and anyway, things just they don't click. They don't, you know, like you can have somebody who can't, who's tone deaf, and you can show them how to do the song, and they'll still you know, they'll still sing it like off the thing, and you're like, whoa, what are you? I don't even. What do you think that is? But they just don't hear it, so they don't know. So that's the way that is. But anyway, and then you get behind a mic, and the band is playing, and you can't hear yourself very well. I always use an earplug, or I've got in ears that I'm trying to work out to get them to work right. I've done it a couple of times and I just can't get it again. But it really, when you can't hear yourself, if you're not somebody like my dear friend who passed, like Guy, he could always, he'd sung so much and had that perfect pitch thing, which I don't have. But my voice is much better than ever. But he just know, he could feel it when he was on. He just knew how it felt, and he knew how much pressure should go where and how to do it. I just learned my technique. I've only become the best singer that I've ever been because I've just gotten certain techniques and started using them. So I'm not perfect at them, and it also means that all those muscles that it takes to do it correctly they're not where they should be, right? So that's all I'm saying. So you have to work those out, because otherwise you start to lose power. You start to lose, if you don't do something that is respiratory, that's good for that kind of building, that kind of strength, you're going to lose it. Because there's songs that I do, like Blue Collar Man, the Head Games by Foreigner, and other songs that are pushers. They're like boom, 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 boom. You know, like Blue Collar Man is, you know, give me a job, give me security, you know. So he does all that, you know, give me a job, give me security. So that's like that the whole time. And it's just push, 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 push. And then you get to a certain spot, and if you're not ready for it, if you're not practiced it enough and not gotten your body used to that, first of all, then you're going to tire out. But if you don't have good monitors and you're not used to, if you don't know how it's supposed to feel, you start pushing too hard. So you're doing almost twice as much push as you should be. So then that shows up later because you tire out. And so you have, some people just have to have lots of monitor. Don Dawkins like that. He was always like, people would complain about how his monitors had to be. God, he has to have these monitors, like, and you're like, dude, you do multiple shows on the road, especially, you know, and sometimes these are people who can't sing, don't have it. They do sound, and maybe they don't sing. They don't know what it takes, and they don't know what it's like if you can't hear yourself. You can ruin your voice in one night and not be able to do the next night. And so that's what concerns me, because I didn't have great monitors when I was with this band recently. And I'm like, I'm going to just, if you want me to do these songs, we have to make sure we get the monitor stuff set up, because I am not professional enough to know how it all just supposed to feel. Right. And you get nervous. You can get nervous up there, especially if the last time you did it, the monitors weren't good, and you're like, okay, I remember last time I was running out of power, so now you get a little bit of insecurity, a little bit, of anxiety about that, and that eats away at you too. Plus, you got to make sure that you're hydrating the whole time. Do you start with some tea? I started with some tea one of these last times, and I drank it too soon. It was too hot, and then my throat was starting to swell just a little bit. So I screwed myself on it. So these are things you have to think about, and those are things that when people talk about monitors, and maybe if you're like, well, what happened? I mean, they can really, they're a good singer, and they seem like they're not hitting it tonight all night, and sometimes that's it. Sometimes just about the monitors. So, yeah, that's why the in-ears can be good, will be good if I get them right, but that's how it goes. So just a little behind the scenes talk. So anyway, yeah, did some classics, like Hey Jealousy. 90s is not my favorite thing. I'm not a 90s guy. I know a lot of people, I always joke about the older I get, the younger my friends get, not in a creepy way. That's just the way it works. And because I'm in music and that kind of thing. So that kind of thing. But anyway, but there are people that I know now that are like, yeah, I was a 90s, you ended up the 90s music. I'm like, okay, yeah, in the 90s. There was some great stuff in the 90s, don't get me wrong. But overall, comparatively to the 70s, 80s, it just, no thank you. But, to each his own. But we did that. We did some 38 Special, Rockin' Into the Night. We did, what else did we do last night? Because there was a couple things I forgot. Well, we did Head Games. We did Never Been Any Reason. There's a couple other things that we did too that I don't remember right now, but it's in a text. So, yeah, I'll figure it out. But anyway, yeah, Get Back by the Beatles. Oh, we did Once Bitten, Twice Shy, the Great White version. And one of my all-time favorite ZZ Top tunes, might be my favorite ZZ Top. I can't say that because ZZ Top they just have a lot of great songs that I really like. And yeah, I don't know. It makes for my greatest hits or best of would be a lot different than the greatest hits. But Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers, that's one of my all-time favorite songs of theirs. Oh, and Everybody Wants You by Billy Squier. So there you go. Little insight. All right. So you guys have a wonderful rest of the night. That's so wrong. So anyway, have a great rest of the night. Remember, when you step out your door every day, you're in everybody else's world. They're not in yours. You're in everybody else's world. They're not in yours. So act accordingly. And Torso, how are you? Woohoo! And Emma Jade, I am so glad to not miss you right now. It's fantastic. You've been lurking. You are a lurker. You're a dirty, cheeky lurker. Oh man. So anyway, but it's been a blast talking about this stuff. I'm glad to be back and be doing this thing, and I'll just keep chugging along. We got some more interviews. We'll be talking with Divine Sorrow real soon. They're a local band out of St. Louis that have many albums, and I'm going to try to get something hooked up with them and Hypnostic. I would love to see those two bands play a gig together, but I'll have to make a phone call and tomorrow and try to get things going with them. So, but in the meantime, I think that's about it. And everybody take care. Have a great rest of the week.
Can you dig it?
And I'll see you soon. I'll see you tomorrow morning. A rockin' bye-bye to everybody out there. Take it easy. Oh, jeez. I just realized I forgot something. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. All right. I'm going to do this real quick. What I'm going to tell you is, hold on. What I'm going to tell you is that tomorrow we're also going to add on what I didn't do tonight, because this will allow me to do a little extra research. We're going to talk about, because I want to make sure I talk about this because I put it on my thing. Okay. I don't want to forget to do that. Silent Rage. Okay. We talked about the movie that I just got, right? Silent Rage. And here it is. And it's not this band, Silent Rage, that pretty much started years ago, but their first album came out in 1987, and then they put out another one in 89, and another one in the early 2000s, and then one in like 2008. So, and then this gentleman here with the long blonde hair, the big poofy blonde hair under the R, is the guitarist and singer for the band. So this is Silent Rage. So we'll be talking about them tomorrow. I'm going to throw that in. I've been researching their music. So check them out. But also, if you're a big fan of Sabaton, this is the last, and then I'm going to shut up and get out of here. But if you're a big fan of Judas Priest, Sabaton, and what was the other band I was thinking of earlier? It's Judas Priest and King Diamond. If you're kind of a fan of those three bands, that style, check out a band that it's called The Silent Rage. Okay, so there's Silent Rage, and then there's The Silent Rage, and they're from Greece. So check them out. Check them out. Oot. If you're Papa Pete, oot. Check them out. Yeah. Good night, Emma Jade. You have a wonderful rest of the evening and sleep well. I can't wait to see you again sometime soon. It's so great to have you here. I know that I keep going on about it, but that's just how I feel. I'm an emotional kind of guy. I'm a nostalgic dude. I'm a romantic. What can I say? All right. Torso, thanks again for hopping in here and looking. Again, you're a professional, so I expect nothing less. Then we'll talk about Silent Rage and The Silent Rage tomorrow. I did mention them on the show, so my thumbnail is not lying. And and let's try this again. So you guys take it easy. I'll see you tomorrow morning, and there's what I'm looking for. Take it easy. A rockin' goodbye-bye.